New reports are suggesting that Attorney General Merrick Garland is behind the Biden administration's alleged efforts to interfere with the Biden criminal probe, the Hunter Biden criminal probe. An attorney representing that IRS whistleblower says that his client has information that can contradict sworn testimony to Congress by a senior political appointee. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre continues to defend the Department of Justice. Watch this.
We're letting Department of Justice handle this. That's what an administration does when they believe in the rule of law, when they believe that the Department of Justice is independent. That's what the president believes. This is something for the Department of Justice. This is an issue that they're dealing with.
Joining me right now is the Heritage Action for America Executive Director, Jessica Anderson. Well, Jess, you heard what she said. Good morning to you. The Department of Justice is independent.
Well, good morning, Maria. It's great to be here. Hearing those comments, it's actually laughable because this cover-up shows yet again that we actually have a two-tiered justice system, one for the liberal Democrats and one for everybody else. The fact that they're going to be honest and show actual transparency for this is just flat out false. So my sense is this is exactly what Chairman Jordan, Chairman Comer are going to pick up and actually give some transparency and hopefully accountability to what really went on with Biden, with his son, and with their interactions with the government.
What I don't understand is how this cover-up has been able to continue with the influence peddling showing such dangerous issues around communist China. I mean, communist China is trying to overtake the United States as the #1 superpower. They're surveilling America in any way they can, even in our faces with a surveillance balloon. And this administration allows it to travel throughout the country for a week and send back military information, secrets that the U.S. has on our military installations in real time. And there's no pushback whatsoever. How is it possible that the people who are not part of the Biden family allow the influence peddling to be covered up and just give China all of this opportunity to overtake the United States? Do they not understand the national security threats around this?
Well, this is exactly what is going to be front and center for the 2024 election. You know, you talk about the issues that are most important, the economy and the border, of course, but exactly what you're talking about, the influence peddling, the slippery slope that we have with the CCP, and the fact that China is putting their tentacles in every part of our American economy, not only just in the spying and the espionage, but then the influence through the ESG. We've talked about this before. Weak businesses means pro-CCP. And so I actually think we're at a tipping point where the American people are so frustrated by this that this is going to begin to resonate and really permeate on the 24 campaign. And unfortunately, until we have a new person in that Oval Office, we're not going to see full accountability for the CCP. And so that time can't come soon enough by my standards, Maria.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the corruption issue on the one hand, which Americans now are totally onto, but you also have the ineptitude of this agenda. West Virginia senator, who's a Joe Manchin, a Democrat, is slamming President Biden over the debt ceiling. He writes this: it has been more than 78 days since President Biden last met with Speaker McCarthy. This signals a deficiency of leadership, and it must change. Manchin also is praising House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's leadership on the issue, but Axios is reporting that McCarthy is short of the 218 votes needed to pass the bill, Jessica. So what are your thoughts here on the fact that even when you're talking about serious issues that have to do with the economics of this country, this president is missing in action?
Yeah, he's refusing to come to the table. What's interesting about Senator Manchin is this is the role he always plays, right? He presents himself as the common sense Democrat willing to come to the table with Republicans. The problem is that the Democratic Party has become so extreme, they've actually left Manchin behind. And so a lot of people, I think, are going to say that Manchin has the power here. It's really up to McCarthy. And McCarthy offered a really strong opening salvo with this beginning deal. It's very clear. It takes all of our spending levels back to pre-COVID levels. That's important. It's important for the base, and it's important for common sense Americans all across the country. So he's going to have to pull Biden to the negotiating table and get him to realize that we cannot default on our debt, and we have a very short window of time to get this done right. And then Manchin's going to be over there playing the role that he plays. But the two discussions are between McCarthy and President Biden.
Yeah, and as Biden's approval ratings plummet, Speaker McCarthy's job approval actually is at an all-time high right now. Tiana, jump in right here.
McCarthy has obviously been a lot more visible. I just wanted to talk about the House passing the Protection of Women's Sports Act. This is something where the GOP has really latched on to Title IX protections. Historically, in the past, a lot of the right, Heritage included, have been critical of Title IX, the Obama-era sexual assault litigation. Do you think that as Democrats run away from Title IX protection for girls and women's sports in schools, do you think that they'll latch on to that sexual assault issue the way that Betsy DeVos wanted to, in terms of not just finding due process, but also enforcing justice?
Well, I want to go to your earlier point first. The reason McCarthy's numbers are increasing and growing is because the Republican-controlled House GOP is actually doing something. And yesterday, when they passed Congressman Greg Steube's Women and Girls Protection Sports Act, that was a huge sign. You also had the first immigration bill coming out of judiciary. And so things are moving. And this discussion in particular about supporting and protecting scholarship opportunities for women and girls busts open this whole conversation around Title IX, as you indicate. And so not only do you have the legislative front, but you have the regulatory front, where the Biden administration tried to expand the Title IX protections. Now they're running a new reg through the Department of Education about how the money flows. And if schools don't offer additional protections for trans activists, then they would cut that funding out. So my sense is we're only just getting to the beginning of this discussion of what is the proper role of Title IX to protect women, their safety, and their opportunity.
Yeah, Kevin McCarthy was tweeting about it. Look, you've got to give them credit. They've been doing what they said they would do. They're filling up those promises. Jessica, thanks very much for weighing in on all of that. Jessica Anderson joining us this morning.